It's finally done, y'all. This is how my studio looked like before. This is where I shoot and edit my videos. And when nostalgia hits, where I listen to my old CDs, watch movies on my old CRT TV.
Yeah, well, you're the one, Amanda. Who's gonna be embarrassed?
Fun fact, I still love the look of old VHS. And also play my guitar. As you can see, though I try to keep it organized, it still looks pretty cluttered because of the limited space and the amount of things I have here. With COVID hitting and me needing to work more from home, I needed a space where I would actually want to spend longer periods of time in. Do my day-to-day work, shoot my videos, and also have a place presentable enough to do video conferences in. With that in mind, I figured I needed to change a few things, which are the color and the mood of the room, my desk setup, and how I organize my gear. For design, I wanted to have a cross between rustic and a cabin vibe. We like staying in cabins when we travel, so overall I just want a spot that kind of reminds me of that feel. For the color of the room, I went with a dark tone and painted the wall with this color. It's kind of like dark gray with a hint of blue. I got this from Home Depot and I really like how it turned out. It's kind of moody, and since this space is really just a converted garage, there's a lot of imperfections in the wall, and this color hides that pretty well. Since this room is pretty dark, I also just repainted the ceiling to make it whiter. This helps bounce light from the window and therefore add more light in the room. I also added white trims in the window and a built-in shelf for plants. I think it's pretty dope that it looks like it's framing my view, which is not all that to be honest, but hey, that's what the plants are for. On one side of the room, kinda like an accent wall, I installed fall brick panels. I love seeing brick walls in cabins, and this kinda reminds me of that. This also adds to the rustic vibe that I'm trying to go for. On the opposite side, I also installed more brick panels, but painted it the same color as the walls. This gives me an extra background for video, and I think the look and texture is pretty dope. For my new table, I've been wanting to get a sit-stand desk for the longest. So what I did was, I bought a frame off Amazon that has pretty strong motors. I needed this to be heavy duty since I'm gonna be putting solid wood on top. For the tabletop, I bought several 2x6 Doug fir wood from Home Depot and cut it to about 4.5 feet and jointed using wood glue and screws. I didn't have all the tools I needed, so it's not 100% perfect. But hey, that's the beauty of rustic design. Imperfections can sometimes add to the aesthetics. This would have been dope as it is, but I wanted my speakers and monitors to be at a specific height for optimal listening and viewing. So I added a top. This also has an added benefit of having more space underneath to place other accessories. As far as desk tour, I really want to keep my desk as minimal as possible, so I just have the essentials. For my laptop, I have a 2016 13-inch MacBook Pro that my work had provided me, and paired with my Apple wireless mouse and keyboard. As far as audio setup, I have a pair of KRK Rocket 6s to monitor and mix my audio, and for audio interface, I use a Scarlett 2i2. I also have an Axiom Mini Air if I need to control MIDI for music or sound effects. I've had this setup for the longest, and their longevity speaks to the quality of these products. I did upgrade a few things. A big one is purchasing a color calibrated monitor to help me color grade better. I got the SW270C from BenQ. It's a 27-inch 2K display that fits perfectly for this desk setup. I especially appreciate the shading head that comes with it, since I'm sitting directly in front of a window. In addition, I also purchased a vest mount for my monitor, so I can move it freely if I needed more natural light in the room. I also bought a Rode PSA-1, since my old boom arm is too short to reach the middle of the table now. Lastly, I bought an extra large mouse pad to cover the ridges of my table and also to protect the surface. To organize this room better, I did a few things. For my main shelving unit, I got rid of the things that I don't use to make room for the things I need easy access to. I also removed a couple of shelves to make room for taller items like my light stands and tabletops I use for product b-roll. To further organize this nook, I also built a cart for my light stands and other accessories, so it's not falling all over the place when I grab something from this space. Another thing I did was utilize a pegboard not only to organize gear, but also as a design element. I have a little blackout theme going on here, which I'm really digging. Underneath it, to manage my tripods better, I installed a storage wall mount. This is for rakes, brooms, and such, but I found that it's a great hack to hold tripods also. On the other side of the table, I added more shelves using pipe brackets that I got off Amazon, and the same wood and stain I used for the table. Similar to the pegboard, I used the shelves as a design element, but also to further organize gear. My intent is to have my main camera and my most used lenses here, and also add little things that inspire positive thoughts. Lastly, to maximize floor space better, I mounted the light I use for my top-down b-roll shots in the ceiling. This really helped declutter the room and made it look more open. Alright, that's it y'all. I hope some of the things I did here provided inspiration in your own space, build, or makeover. This space is really not much. It's really quite small, but hey, similar to editing, sometimes you just have to work with what you have and rely more on your creativity versus focusing on what you're lacking or missing. With that, I really hope you guys have a great new year. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.